Hi, I'm Brenda.
I'm Jim.
We're Heartiness Approach.
Here we are out in our new garden area that used to be the Charlotte's Field pasture. The one we fenced off where we've got our garden plowed up, and we are standing underneath of the walnut tree.
Now we're standing underneath the walnut tree for a couple of reasons. First of all, it has to do with nuts. So the first thing you're going to see in this video is a video that we made while we were in Nevada. And we want to show it again because it helps you understand why nuts and seeds need to be soaked.
I'll prompt you with the words, okay?
And dehydrated in order to be healthy and be digestible. For years, decades, we ate nuts that were not. And then we finally found a problem with him who became zinc deficient and traced it back to that. So watch this video and then come back to our tree.
We are going to soak the nuts that we have purchased from Trader Joe's. When we go to the city, we buy about $100 worth of nuts because we use nuts for a lot of our snacks, our protein, our fats, all the good things. But nuts have what are called phytates. Phytates make it very difficult for you to digest them properly. All of our whole life, we've eaten nuts without soaking them. But, for instance, when I eat cashews, I always feel it. It doesn't sit right on me, and I never quite understood that. Now we soak them. So we're going to show you how we do that. We soak them for 24 hours, and then we pour the water off of them, put them in our dehydrator, and dehydrate them for 24 hours, take them out, package them up, and eat them, and they are amazing. They taste really good. Taste good. They taste.
They taste tasty.
I sprinkle a little bit of salt in them when I put it in the water and when I put it in the dehydrator. Believe it or not, I had a blood test and I'm low on salt, so the doctor said eat salt.
Eat more salt.
So some nuts have more. Brazil nuts are super high in phytates. Cashews are pretty high up there. Hazelnuts have a lot. Then I have pecans, almonds, walnuts, and sunflower seeds also need to be soaked. Ironically, though, pistachios have very little phytates, so you don't have to soak them, and which is kind of cool because these are raw meat pistachios, and I can just eat those. The first time we ever tried this, we did not have a dehydrator, and we did it in our oven.
Not a happy experience.
It was
they didn't taste very good.
It was a waste.
Dry very well.
It was just mushy. Yuck.
I think it dried them too slow or infused flavors in something, but they just did not taste right. Didn't chew right.
So we have the hydrator, Excalibur dehydrator, and we just fill every shelf, and it works amazing.
Yes.
So here we go. Let me give you a few pointers. Last time when I did this, I put a cover over it just like a cloth and never checked it. Some of the nuts had swelled up so much they were out of the water. So check them and keep them covered with water. And they are an amazing, healthy snack. You can't believe how good the almonds are. They just pop.
Now, if I remember right, last time we soaked them, when we took the water off, it was really cloudy. There was a lot left in the water.
You could just see yucky stuff in there. And so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of pink Himalayan salt on the top. And
it doesn't have to be pink Himalayan.
No. I have bought all raw nuts. All of these are raw. And Brazil nuts are super healthy for you. They're not a nut that you use, that big ugly nut.
Did you put some in here?
Yeah, I did. That comes into your Christmas stocking.
Doesn't taste salty.
So, there you go. A wonderful, healthy snack. And this is all the time it takes. I mean, yeah, you have to put them on the dehydrator, but no big deal.
I'm going to turn off the dehydrator and try them. Our nuts. We just did this, another batch. I want you to hear the crisp. See?
Good flavor.
Really, 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 really crisp. They pop like unbelievable.
How are these?
These are walnuts.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Such better flavor.
Mm-hmm.
These are the pecans. These pecans are going to go into our granola.
Good flavor. No phytates.
That's why we soak and dehydrate our nuts, because they're super healthy now. They're really, really good. And then we put them into their own containers, throw them in the car with us, and we always have nuts. Okay, go.
You're probably asking, what are they doing picking up stuff off the ground? And these are actually walnuts that came out of this tree. We've noticed that our pigs, their pen is under a walnut tree, have been doing some eating of the walnuts, which we hope that they would use them for finishing off. So we're going to gather up from this tree. We actually have a couple of other trees that we may pull a few from as well, but we're going to pull from under this tree and be able to finish them off on these walnuts. We'll see how that goes.
So there's a little problem with black walnut trees. And those people that live in the South, they have a lot of black walnut trees. There are some black walnut trees up in Michigan and other places. But black walnut trees have a toxicity called juglone, J-U-G-L-O-N-E. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's the way it's spelled. And it can kill plants. So there's a set of plants that you cannot grow near this tree, and there's a set of plants that grow really well during this tree, under the tree. So you need to be 50 to 80 feet away from it for certain things, and those things are tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, one of Jim's favorites, which is rhubarb, and then asparagus and peas are some of the ones that, and apple trees.
How about cabbage?
Oh, and cabbage. And apple trees. You can't grow them because the toxicity will kill your plant. So we've had to look at how we're going to plant and where. But right here where we're standing, right next to this tree, is at the far end of our garden. And we thought, well, why don't we put corn there? And then we're like, oh no, will corn grow? Corn is one of the things that grow really well next to a black walnut tree. Beans, beets, carrots, cauliflower grow really well. Now, and corn. And then the trees that grow well, the fruit trees, are your peaches, your nectarines, plums. So cherry trees also grow really well, leeks, onions, and melons. If you're like many of us who have a black walnut tree, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 on your property, just learn what you can grow near them and what you can't, and that way you'll be successful.
In a couple of days, Brisket is going to be 8 months old. We've decided it's time to wean, so we have them separated. They're in different corral areas. We're feeding them separately because we don't have any pasture for them to graze on, so that we're having to feed them everything they get. So this is an easy time for us to do it. We definitely, things will be easier for us in what we need to do with Missy if he is weaned. We're wanting to get her bred, which means we have to take her somewhere, and so if she's not lactating, which she probably will stop, she'll dry up on us, then it'll be easier for us to get her over there. She'll be healthier and so forth. So it just works out better. So that's kind of our plan. Get this little calf weaned to where she can dry up. And this has been the first day. We started this morning, and really no unusual mooing, carrying on like we've been warned that they would do, enough to disturb the neighbors. That's not happening. So it's going so far so good. So we'll see how it continues, and then we'll be able to move forward and get Missy bred and get ready for the next calf.